Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Earth and Medicine. I'm out here again with my horses here in Iowa. Today we're just gonna do a nice little barn routine. So we had planned on doing our first 25-mile endurance ride after we did our equithon in Wisconsin. We had trailered out and we had gotten to the ride in Illinois. We camped overnight and it was just so beautiful. It was really misty in the morning. We kind of had the place to ourselves the first night, and then the next morning just kind of took care of the horses, let them eat lots of grass, and we were just kind of waiting to vet in. Unfortunately, I made a pretty big mistake in tying Sunny too low on a tree so that he could graze, and I also gave him a bit of length of rope, and he was able to turn himself around, get his leg hooked over the rope, and then kind of started to panic about it and started to kick against the rope enough to give himself a good rope burn down low on his pastern. So at first he was just a little bit sore on it just from the rope burn itself, but he was completely sound, there was no swelling, and we even vetted in perfectly. After he vetted in and he was tied up to the trailer, he just started to get pretty swollen in that ankle, and then he started to get lame. With him just being lame like that, and he had never been lame before, I was like, it is not worth it. And so I ended up pulling him and we trailered back home that night. So after we got home from the endurance ride, I actually spent the next week just doing rehab with Sunny. So when he was just standing in his pasture, he would pretty much just put all of his weight on his other hind leg and wouldn't really step down well on the one that had gotten the rope burn on. And so he had a lot of swelling, which just caused, I think, a lot of pain, and therefore he wanted to step on it even less. So I would go out there every day and I'd hand walk him. Just from my own experience in medicine and with my own injuries as well, being an athlete, I knew that sometimes it just takes a little bit of walking to just get that swelling to clear out a little bit and loosen up those ligaments in the joints. And I think that's what was going on with him. So after we would walk for maybe 10 minutes, he would really loosen up well, and he started putting all of his weight down on that ankle and really extending that pastern all the way back. And he was even just doing a little bit of trotting on his own. So that was a big relief for me. I am really worried about getting an injury with him. We put in so much time just trying to get our miles in to do endurance riding, and so I felt pretty just upset at myself and guilty for having tied him so low and long like that to then put him in a situation to get an injury. And I guess this is just how we learn our lessons, and horses find a way to hurt themselves. So our jobs are to try to create the safest environment that we can, but even if you do, horses are still going to hurt themselves. This is just another experience in my endurance riding journey. We were not able to do our first 25-mile endurance ride, but that's okay. There's still a long summer and a lot of rides left here in the Midwest that I can make it to while I'm in residency. So the rehab journey for Sunny was pretty smooth. The second week he was already walking around pretty well on his own in his paddock, and then I would still hand walk him just to help him loosen up a little bit more. And then I actually started incorporating a little bit more trotting as well. He is completely sound now. I have been out on several different rides, and I trailered out and did a nice 8-mile ride with him as well. So I was able to film the beautiful campsite that we were at back at the other ride, and then I also did film our vet in and everything. So I'll go ahead and show that now. Very misty morning here. Good morning, ponies. Eating their breakfast. It's about 7 a.m. It's quite misty and foggy, but warm enough. Good morning, Sunny. Good morning, Candy. Hey, girlie. This is our camp. Morning, Tristan. Got the fire going. We're gonna cook some breakfast. We've got our tea kettle going with some coffee in there. Nice. And Dash is destroying his toy that I just got for him yesterday. Silly dog.
Got it. Capture it.
right now we're doing pain.
Trot, please. Trot, please.
Oh. I'm like, cute. Why are you wanting to cute?
In the time that I was training to do my first 25-mile endurance ride, I also decided to do a horse show. It was really fun, pretty much cross-training, doing both endurance, dressage, as well as show jumping.
All right, I'll be watching.
So I got some footage at the show. We did both dressage classes as well as a show jumping class. It was really fun. The judges were super supportive. We got some really nice footage and also some great pictures out of it. So while I was also conditioning to do endurance riding, I was also teaching Sunny how to jump. I had previously uploaded some videos about how I built my own show jumps, and I used these jumps to teach him how to jump. Sunny was really good too. Sometimes he can be a bit nervous, but he was really brave in this new arena as well as seeing all these new jumps and all the new horses. such a great time, and I can't wait to do our next show. Decided to hop on Candy, and so we're just doing a nice little bareback ride back to the barn. Well, hello there, little frog. Oh. I don't know if it's focusing, but you're very cute. I really like this Alu Shield stuff. It's pretty much like a liquid Band-Aid. And I hadn't heard about it until a few years ago, and it's pretty amazing for open cuts on horses that you don't want the flies to be eating, especially those tiny little flies. If you just spray some of this on it, it really keeps them off. So this is amazing. This Swatch ointment is also really amazing. Pretty much a ointment version of fly spray. I think it works better. It's a bit thicker, and it's hard to cover their whole bodies with this, but you can put this on places that are harder to spray or specific spots that you really don't want the flies on. So you can put this on their nose. I try to avoid their eyes just because it can be pretty potent, and I'm not sure if it causes some eye irritation, but I also put this on their chest sometimes, or sometimes on their legs, and it can be really helpful. So I just cleaned the stall, and I thought the camera was running, but it was not. So you can just imagine that I picked up all the manure, and now it's nice and clean. I think it had rained here last night or the night before, so it's a little bit wet, but it's drying up really well, and I really like the shelter that they're in now. They've got a roof over their heads when it rains. They've got a little bit of wind protection, and then I think it's also just that comfort that they have a little bit of a shelter when they need it. So I'm just gonna finish up here. I'm gonna put the ponies away and feed them. We were sad that we were not able to complete our first 25-mile endurance ride, but I'm very excited for the first one that we will get to do in about a month, and I'm just gonna start conditioning again, making sure we're getting some good heat tolerance built up, and I'll make sure to film the process along the way and bring you guys along. Once again, if you like this video, check out the other videos on my channel, like and subscribe, and I'll see you here next time. There's Sunny. Getting all in a huff.